Alright guys, welcome back to Valorant News. A crazy day in the Valorant world with so much action yesterday all across the board, but certainly Sentinels versus 100 Thieves. A massive game last night to kick off the VCT Americas. TenZ gives his explanation as to exactly how Sentinels were somehow able to come out on top after the role changes they made. But also, Yay, where might he end up rather shortly? Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. It was kind of sad in a way that Yay was spotted here on the broadcast at the venue on like an AIM Lab advertisement, despite not actually playing in the VCT right now. So Yay was there at the venue, but unfortunately not as a player right now. Now, TSM Original confirmed yesterday, or maybe didn't confirm, but he says TSM is committed to esports. We saw the rumor going around yesterday from the Sports Business Journal that TSM is considering exiting certain esports to, to actually uphold their profitability, right? Well, they don't have any profitability, but you know what I mean. Try not to lose too much money, right? So as he says, we're planning to enter CSGO sometime later this year, which is a larger investment than all the games have left combined. TSM is always evaluating what esports ecosystems are best to invest in and will continue to enter and exit certain games. So basically says they're trying to make CSGO work again because, well, of course it's CS2, right, relatively soon. Unless he actually means that he's going to have a CSGO team while everyone else goes to CS2 and dominate the scene. Like, that would be pretty entertaining. But does this mean that they're going to get rid of their Valorant project? Not necessarily, but, it doesn't exactly deny that possibility. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Also thought this is funny here from Moose MSR. Jet players and Oppers finally experiencing the same pressure Sentinels players have been feeling for ages. Having the GOAT of your role be a free agent and knowing they could replace you at any time is terrifying. I hope Yay and babybay get picked up soon so we can all rest. So I guess some sort of late April Fool's joke here on the babybay side. But it's an interesting question, right? The fact that Yay is there as a free agent probably does make certain Jet players and Oppers somewhat concerned that potentially they might get replaced by Yay, just as, Sentinel players have been concerned that babybay is going to take their job for quite some time now. This is, though, the other part of the Yay story. So as Seal says, expect the unexpected. Now, look, this is April Fool's, right, yesterday. So you don't really know what's going on, but I will say that this was tweeted, like, maybe at least my time, probably still his time, it was, like, still April Fool's, but he says expect the unexpected, and the pros like to do this, so I don't know. I just know that there's been some talk that this apparent April Fool's joke might have more, there might be something more to this than we think. It seems outrageous, right? But fundamentally, what are Yay's options right now? Yay can either sit out the season, because the way the rules work for the tier 1 scene, he was on a team, now he's off the team. Those rosters cannot make a change to bring in Yay unless it's an emergency move, which they can't really justify that it is, for the entire split. And this season, there's not 3 splits as there's been in the past, or 2 splits, there's 1 split. It's from now until Masters, and after Masters, you've then, which is in June time in Tokyo, then there's the LCQ, and then there's Champions. So there really isn't any chances for Yay to even go back into tier 1. He was picked up by Cloud9, they messed around with the finances, then they dropped him, and now he's really struggling to actually find anywhere that he can go back to. Because I don't believe it's really possible for him to actually join another tier 1 team based on the rules right now. So his option is either sit out the season and do nothing, and just wait for a chance next year, which might be viable, or actually, if he wants to play competitively, play in tier 2. So anyway, Disguise, they've been struggling lately, and they potentially want to make some changes, and they say yesterday, welcome to DSG Yay. However, in order to afford him, we had to drop our original roster. DSG games will just be Yay by himself against the enemy team. So good bit of fun, good joking around. And then Yay says, I'm really thankful to Toast for willing to take a chance on an upcoming player like myself. Hopefully I'll make you all proud. So, obviously it sounds like he's joking around, and he probably is. But as I say, it's not like Yay has other options on the table here, and I don't know, some people have been suggesting there's a chance that this is actually just a ruse, and in fact they have signed Yay, and they are actually going to make this work, but I don't think the leakers have been talking about it, so I don't buy it personally, but I guess stay tuned. FNS says decent pickup, right? But that's the thing for Yay, like if he can't get signed elsewhere, then he'd probably prefer to go down to tier 2 and at least get some match play in and get some practice in and play with the team and improve as a player and get used to the new meta rather than sitting out for so long. Marv's held out for a couple of months and he now wants to make the return, as have other players before. Yay probably doesn't want to sit out the whole year, and Disguise, after struggling, will be looking to make some changes with their team, I would imagine, and given that Yay is an option if they can somehow make it work financially, and I think that Yay is probably getting, he was getting paid enough for Cloud9 to keep him tied over for a little bit of time, I imagine, even though that contract is now quickly at an end. Let's talk about Sentinels versus 100 Thieves then, because, man, this was a wild series, and the rumours kind of came true to some regard in terms of what they were were playing around with their roster. So loads of rumors going around that Marved was going to be in. That, of course, wasn't the case. We saw Lena say yesterday that his visa isn't yet sorted. Like, there's still some work to do to actually get Marved out there to the US, out there to LA, so they could even try him in the team. But there were some rumors the other day they'd at least practice with him on the roster, which was a bit of a question mark. So they've changed their roles around, and this seemed to work out very well for them last night against 100 Thieves. It was a ridiculous series. Either team could have won, but especially on Fracture, Pancada changed onto the Killjoy, Dephh was then on the Breach, and then Sassy was on the Smokes. So we thought that if they were going to make a change to roles, it might be Pancada to the Sentinel, Dephh might even go or stay, or Sassy might do IGL and Marv might come in, and maybe down the line that could still happen. But for now, this seems to be what Noyan and the others were discussing the other day, of these significant or absurd changes as was being described, that okay, on paper it sounds pretty ridiculous in a way to change around the roles in quite this manner, but Fnatic Mini says actually this makes a lot of sense. Zekan even on the Sova sometimes can make sense as well. And this is what they were doing here on the Fracture. A very interesting composition with Sassy on the Brim, and he also was on the Omen as well. So he's on the Smokes now, Pancada on the Killjoy, and then TenZ of course on the Jet, and Zekan on the Raze, with Dephh on the Breach as the IGL. So yeah, very interesting composition they came up with. Certainly not, I imagine, what they would have envisaged when they formed this roster, but I do remember even when this team formed that TenZ said that, you know, we've formed a very versatile team here. There's many alterations that we could potentially make to our team, and seemingly over the past even just week or so, they've made a decision into what direction they want to go with roles, and, you know, maybe that's a plan to keep this team together longer, because if they struggled with this roster, there's potentially changes brewing with Marved on the bench, maybe ready to come in at a moment's notice. And maybe this is their attempt to either just get a little bit better than they were before, or try and ensure that this roster is actually sustainable in the medium term. So, I mean, yeah, remarkable series. Game 1 here was on the Fracture. They took it 13-11, and after this map you think, I mean, the last few days we've seen some close series, like M80 versus the Guards was a close fought series, but fundamentally there was, you know, some of the maps were not particularly competitive. One team was significantly better than the other team on a particular map mode combination, and, you know, in the end, Crowd tries to get one, but Sassy gets the job done. The crossfire just proves too strong there from Sentinels. But game 2, 100 Thieves, they take it to overtime on Split. They bounce back. What is it with Split and, like, very entertaining overtimes? Sentinels just couldn't quite muster up anything here on the overtime. But Split, in my opinion, it's not the best map in Valorant history, but it's so good for big moments and matches like this, because 100 Thieves versus Sentinels was always going to be big. Tarek and Naja on the same watch party was great content, and, you know, 100 Thieves, I think, went into the year really expected to be, at least early on, one of the strongest Valorant teams in North America. NRG came along at the lock-in and said, no, we're pretty much still #1 with the former OpTic core, but, you know, Sentinels also, people were discussing their squad as a super team. And then again, at game 3, another overtime here on Ascent. 12-12 it was at this point. Like, you know, Derek tried his best, but it wasn't going to be happening in the end, and it's Sentinels who take the overtime. They were down like 9-12 here as well. TenZ had to go big to even get them to this point, so it was a crazy one, but, yeah, in the end, Nadeshot's, you know, frustration got to him, and Sentinels get over the line. But yeah, crazy stuff, honestly. Great to see North America represented, or just the Americas represented in this way in the first series they played, and a good result for sure for Sentinels to, after all the roster dramas after the last few days, or the rumours of such, just to shut those down a little bit, those rumours, and say, no, this team is still what we want to go with. And as Zekan says, playing with nothing else to worry about other than the game is such a freeing feeling. So potentially saying that in the past or in recent memory, he's played with many things on his mind, not just, you know, his in-game performance, and that of course helps them play well. And TenZ gives some additional explanation.
Barrel their way through halls. It's only Bang on the other side of the map.
TenZ clean for the first, finds cover, or at least tries to, and the Cloudburst stays alive with 3 HP. I mean, there's enough. Eyes fall on them. On TenZ, and he delivers again. He's gotten 2 on the round.
Easy. On the cross, that's when there's going to be some extra util, and just huge.
Yeah, so how it feels to win the first match, obviously it feels amazing. Saw a lot of Sentinel jerseys out in the crowd, so really glad about that. Really glad about the results, and yeah, just having a good time.
As TenZ goes on to say, took the first win of the year against 100 Thieves. Happy we came out on top against such a great team, but you know, some overheats here and there, got to clean up some stuff. So TenZ reckons they can get significantly better than they are, but you know, small mistakes as they clean those up, they should be good. 2-1, I mean, the series is competitive in terms of the numbers, but actually the slaying was quite one-sided, really. zyppan plus 15, TenZ plus 18, he had some great moments, 13-11, 12-14, and then 14-12 back the other way. Pretty insane, and it looked like for a time with an 8-4 half here that 100 Thieves were going to get the job done, but Sentinels proved too strong. The other series, which had, I believe, according to the numbers, slightly less, I think it was about 400,000 concurrents for that first series. This one was marginally less. I think the website put it the other way around. But yeah, Furia took down Crew Esports. They, of course, made their recent addition of cNed back into their starting team, but Furia too good, just about 13-11, and then 13-5. So finally, we saw a map that actually was slightly more one-sided, but yeah, Furia advanced to 1-0 as well. So far this season, we've got Sentinels 1-0, it's Furia 1-0, and Furia with a more comfortable win are technically top of the standings in the Americas. There was also some discussion here, right, from Brazilian VALORANT Twitter about how the arena was pretty much emptied out after that first series. There was 180 people, then it went down to 30, which look, you can kind of understand it, late evening in Los Angeles or whatever, like, well, people want to get out of there, I guess, going into the evening time on the weekends, so I get it, but still a bit of an interesting one to keep your eyes on about how the crowd behave, let's just say, after quite a lot of drama when they were in Brazil themselves not that long ago for the lock-in event. But very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.